Hello, everyone. As this is the first custody appointment you have scheduled for your case, the judge has decided to route you through mediation first. She would like for you to come to an agreement instead of immediately going to court. I didn't want to go to mediation. I wanted to see the judge immediately. This needs to be solved today. Mediation can be a very successful tool in custody cases as long as both parties are willing to put aside their own agendas and do what is best for their child. I am perfectly fine with trying mediation first. I just want us to come up with a fair parenting plan that will not disrupt daughter's schedule and will give us clearly defined rules. Fine, whatever. I agree to do mediation as well. But I am not backing down from what I think will be best for my child. Very well. What is your desired custody arrangement for your daughter, sir? I want to have my child all of the time, of course. But I know that with my work schedule, I do not get home until 2 hours past the time her preschool closes. I would love to have 3 weekends a month and then half of the summer. Are you crazy? You really think you should have my child all of that time? I cannot be away from my baby for that long. That is unfair. But you think it's fair that I am kept from daughter for weeks at a time. Why is it fair for me and not you? I am her mother. I gave birth to her. I deserve to have her more than you. Ma'am, what is your ideal custody schedule then? I request to have full legal and physical custody of daughter. I would wish to see Stephen get every other weekend visitation, and that is all. Has Stephen ever done anything to make you believe he would be a danger to daughter? I do not trust the choices he has been making lately. I do not feel safe. But he has never actually done anything to our daughter in danger. And he has always been in daughter's life. Yeah, I guess. Then why would you want to strip him of his parental rights and basically make him no more than a glorified babysitter? Do you really think that would be in the best interest of your child? He would still be her dad. He would just have to go through me for major decisions, not a big deal. I have always been primary caregiver. He's barely a father as is. I have been involved in my daughter's life since the day she was born. I will admit that Jenny has taken on the role of primary caregiver because she stayed at home with daughter for a few years and I worked long hours. But I have always been an involved father. See, even he admits that I am the actual parent, and he isn't. I am an actual parent. And this entire time I have said I don't want to take daughter from you primarily. That would be devastating for her, because she is very used to seeing you every day. But I want my time, and I want clear defined rules that can't be taken away when you are upset. I would never just rip daughter away from you for no reason. I feel like the only reason you now want a court order is because your girlfriend is pushing you to get one. You have ripped daughter away from me though. You denied me to pick her up last weekend and refused to allow me to call or FaceTime her unless I give you full access to my social media. If we have a court order, you wouldn't be able to withhold her from me like that. I didn't say you couldn't see her. I said you had to come see her at my home by yourself. I didn't trust you wouldn't shove your new girlfriend in her face. I have been dating her for 6 months at this point and have not introduced daughter to her yet. Just because I chose to make my relationship public at this point doesn't mean I'm introducing daughter to her right away or making them be a family. 6 months is the standard time that the courts will request a partner waits to be introduced to a child. You are well within your rights to introduce your significant other to your daughter if you so choose. Not true. I read that I can request that no significant others be allowed until they are married. That is what I am requesting. I can guarantee you that the judge you are assigned to will not agree to that unless you both are wanting it. It is an intrusive and ridiculous request for someone who has no past history of concern. Well, how should I know that this woman doesn't have a past history? She could be a criminal. Shanice has given me a copy of her most recent criminal background check that she has to do for work. She works in a state-run preschool and is required to be screened through DSS. That is a very strict background check. Ma'am, you honestly are very lucky to have your ex's girlfriend be cleared through the state to be around children. Well, I still am not comfortable with some random woman I don't know around my baby. If she does get to meet her, I want to meet her first. She needs to see me face to face and know I mean business when it comes to my family. I understand the desire to know who is around your children, but the court cannot force someone to meet you. She will have to do that willingly. She has already told me she is willing to meet you in a public setting with me if it makes the process easier for everyone. That is not a problem. Fine. And I don't want daughter to ever be told to call her mom or any form of mom. That is not her mom. I am her only mom. Once again, that is fine. Daughter is 5 years old and knows who her parents are. She would never be forced to call someone else mom. I think you are projecting your insecurities onto this a little too much. You can't speak to me like that. You have to respect me in this courtroom. That isn't allowed. Ma'am, he is being respectful. Please stick to the original issue at hand. Fine. For custody, I guess I am okay with him having every other weekend, but that is it. And I want to retain majority legal custody. I would like to have legal custody, and I will agree to every other weekend as long as I get at least weeks out of the summer. That is very reasonable. Would you agree to this? Only if his girlfriend was not allowed to be there when he has daughter. He needs to spend all of his time with daughter only. He doesn't need to be around his girlfriend when daughter is there. Ma'am, you cannot dictate what happens in his home without a valid reason. He is allowed to have visitors when his daughter is there. Unless there is a legal reason, you cannot say his girlfriend has to stay away. We are still married. My daughter doesn't need to be around an adulterer. Ma'am, you have been legally separated for over a year. Your ex is allowed to move on. Now we can either agree to this custody arrangement or go before the judge. Fine. I guess I have to agree. But if she is one toe out of line, I'm coming for her. When are you planning on introducing daughter to your little girlfriend? I know you are now that the mediator was sucking up to you the whole time. I am thinking about my next weekend. And no, that does not work for me. She needs to meet me before she can meet my daughter. We discussed this. She is coming with me for pickup. She will be able to introduce herself while I get daughter situated in the car. Absolutely not. That is not enough time for me to get to know her well. She needs to meet me during her lunch break or something so I can ask her my questions. You are not interrogating my girlfriend. You want to meet her, fine. But she does not need to interview with you for the position. Well, you're already breaking court order. You are pathetic. Just because you do not like that you aren't getting your way doesn't mean it's breaking court order. I will see you Friday night to get daughter. No, we need to discuss this. I have rules that you need to follow if you are having your girlfriend around my baby. First off, she better not be spending the night. And if she is, you are not allowed to sleep in the bed with her. She needs to sleep on the couch. She doesn't deserve to sleep in the bed while my daughter is in the home. If daughter wants to sleep in bed with you, she shouldn't have to worry about some whore in bed with her daddy. She shouldn't even have to worry about her at all. It's bad enough she will even be there. And you should have enough respect for our marriage to keep your side piece out of the bed until we are officially divorced. I am still your wife after all. Are you going to answer me or not? Don't make me call your job. I just find it hilarious that a woman who cheats during her marriage wants to lecture me on etiquette. Please leave me alone now unless it directly relates to daughter. Maybe I wouldn't have cheated if you would have been a good husband. If I was terrible, then you could have divorced me, not cheat. But it doesn't matter. It was a blessing in disguise. I will see you Friday night. Have a good day. You have no respect for me. You think you can talk shit whenever you want and get away with it. I promise it isn't going to work for you. Don't ignore me. You know I hate it when you play this silent treatment game. This is exactly why our marriage failed. You are too immature to be a husband. You got fat, by the way. I can tell that you gained so much weight since I left you. Lay off the fried chicken, maybe. Where is daughter? I told you I had questions for your little girlfriend before daughter met her. She isn't coming outside until I am satisfied with all the questions I have. You cannot keep her from me. We came 10 minutes early to pick up time, so I expect her to be outside and ready to go at 6 p.m. We have a court order. If I feel comfortable, then she will be, no problem. But if not, you'll just have to try again another day. My concern for daughter's safety is more important to me than some stupid piece of paper. You do realize that by violating the order, you can end up in a lot of trouble, right? It's not a suggestion. It's something we both have to follow. Shanice agreed to meet with you out of courtesy. None of this is required. And what are you going to do if I don't turn daughter over to you, Stephen? Are you going to call the police? I know you. You wouldn't dream about putting daughter through something like that. You know how scared that would make her. Cops are not required. If you have questions for me, feel free to ask. Let's just make this transition as smooth as possible for the sake of your child. And why do you want to avoid the police so badly? Do you have warrants or something? No. I am a mother as well, and I know I wouldn't want to traumatize my child like that because I cannot let go of my anger towards my ex. And where is your ex? Is he in jail? Or is he going to pop in and out and be a bad influence around my baby? That is none of your business, Jenny. You can meet Shanice, but you aren't going to be rude. No, it is my business. Who is he? Where does he live? It's fine, Stephen. My son's father's name is Jeremy. And no, he is not in jail. But he will not be around your child, so you have nothing to worry about. So he's a deadbeat. That's wonderful. No, he is not a deadbeat. He's dead. He died in a car accident when I was only 8 weeks along. He was a wonderful man and would have been an amazing father. Do you have any other questions that you would like to ask, or would you just like to stick with your racist assumptions? No, she doesn't. It is my pickup time. Go inside and get my child. It has been 3 hours since I have heard from you. You need to respond and let me know my daughter is okay, or I will be coming to check on her. I am not giving you a play-by-play every hour. Daughter is fine, just like she has been every single weekend that I have had her. If you would like to call and talk to her, you can before she goes to bed. How am I supposed to know you made it home safely with my child? Traffic in the city is terrible. You could have been in an accident. I live less than 30 minutes from your parents' house. There is no need for me to check in so soon. Please stop interrupting my parenting time. Is that baby at your house as well? That is none of your concern. It's sure that he 11 is. Does she breastfeed? She better not be breastfeeding in front of my child. My baby does not need to be exposed to that type of disgusting behavior. That is none of your concern. It is my concern. What do you know about that kid's health record? It could have diseases. Does she even vaccinate? I want to see his health record. This is an infant you're talking about, not a dog. And you have no rights to his medical history. Have a good night. That's it. I'm coming over there. You do not get to dismiss my concerns. I have every right to know everything about the child around my child. If you step foot on my property, I will have you arrested for trespassing. You have no right to come over here because you did not get your way. Hi, Jenny. If you have any questions or concerns regarding my child, please feel free to message and ask me. I am his mother. This will save for unnecessary stress or concern for both of us. You have crossed a fucking line by messaging me, you bitch. I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but you need to keep your disgusting little nose out of my business with my husband, you hussy. If you have questions about my child, you come to me or you mind your business. I don't care about anything else you have going on with Steven. But my child is my concern. You're going to regret this, you gross little bitch. I promise you that this will be your biggest mistake you ever made. Sounds good. Have a good night. Daughter was traumatized when I got her back last night. She cried all night and wouldn't settle. It is very obvious something happened over there this weekend that you are not telling me. Nothing bad happened over the weekend. She was upset when it was time to take her back home because she didn't want to go yet, but she was happy the entire weekend. Don't lie to me, Steven. I know my child, and I know something happened to her. Talk before I have to take this farther. Once again, she did not want to leave. What do you expect when you kept her from her father for close to a month? She said herself she was scared she wasn't going to get to see me for a long time again. That isn't it at all. She's 5 years old. She doesn't even realize she didn't see you for that long. You must be coaching her to feel like this. She is very smart. She is aware of what is going on, even if she doesn't have the words quite yet to describe it. Please keep that in mind with how you act around her in the future. Do not tell me how to act around my child. Your little girlfriend probably scared the heat 11 out of her. She has never had to associate with a person like that before. But Lord knows you don't care how that will affect her mental health. What? A black person? She was not afraid of Shanice, and she is not going to grow up adopting your and your family's racist beliefs. She is better than that. Don't you dare try to pull the racist card on me. God, you really have changed. Start dating one of them, and now you're speaking like them. You honestly can't hear the words coming out of your mouth? Can you? Well, clearly your visitation this weekend didn't go well with Shanice there. You will need to make sure she is no longer around for visitation to continue. That is not going to happen. The mediator told you that you cannot control my household. I will have a say over who is around my daughter. Well, let me give you a little heads up. The visitation went so well with daughter and Shanice this weekend that we have decided to take our relationship to the next step. Shanice's lease is up next month, and she will then be moving in with me. Over my dead body will that happen? That thing and her bastard baby will not be sleeping in the same house as my son. You have a month to get over your irrational fear of black people.